I have taken over the HorrorWise channel to tell my tale. A tale of madness, darkness, and the symphony of fear that courses through my veins. Welcome to Echoes of Madness, a killer clown symphony. I am Jester, your guide into the depths of the twisted psyche. As we delve into the enigma that is my mind, prepare to confront the horrors that lurk in the shadows and the reasons that drive me to dance on the edge of sanity. This is not a tale for the faint of heart, but for those who dare to embrace the discordant melody of the human mind. Part 1. Into the Mind of Madness. I am laughter in the shadows, the grinning specter that haunts your dreams. They call me Jester, a name that fits me like a glove. I am one of the killer clowns, a group that thrives on chaos and the taste of fear. You might wonder why I do what I do, what drives me to be a harbinger of horror. It's a carnival of thoughts that whirls through my mind, a dance between sanity and madness. I was never like other kids, even from a young age. The thrill of laughter and terror intertwined in my mind, forming a symphony of emotions that only grew louder as the years passed. I joined the killer clowns because they understood. They shared my appetite for the bizarre and the grotesque. We became a family of twisted minds, united by our shared obsession. Capturing victims is an art form, a ballet of deception and darkness. I watch from the shadows, observing their routines, their weaknesses. The fear in their eyes when they realize that their reality has twisted into a nightmare fuels my insatiable hunger. I'm not just a clown, I'm a maestro of mayhem. I remember one particular victim, a man named Jacob, his fear radiating like a delicious aroma. It was a moonlit night when I lured him into our realm, my painted smile belying the madness beneath. I reveled in his screams, in the echoes of his despair. That night, he danced to my tune, a marionette of fear. But darkness cannot last forever. And as the moon waned, so did my grip on Jacob. He escaped, leaving me both exhilarated and infuriated. He had tasted fear and lived to tell the tale, a defiance that fueled the fire within me. And now, with his escape fresh in my mind, I crave nothing more than to reclaim my dominance. Part 2. Echoes of Desperation. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky with streaks of crimson and gold, I felt the familiar thrill building within me. I am Jester, the embodiment of chaos, and my canvas awaits. The city streets, once bustling with life, now become my stage for the next act of our malevolent circus. The reasons behind my actions are complex, woven from threads of exhilaration and obsession. The killer clowns offered me a family, a group that accepted the twisted symphony in my mind. We are united by our need to shatter the veneer of normalcy, to expose the fragility of reality. Together, we are the architects of nightmares. Capturing victims is an intricate dance of luring and ensnaring. I use deception like a puppeteer, exploiting vulnerabilities to lead them into my macabre theater. I see the tremor in their eyes, the desperate pleas for mercy that fall on deaf ears. Their panic resonates like a sweet melody, and I savor each note. Jacob's escape still echoes in my mind, a scar on my ego that demands mending. He challenged my dominion over fear, and I can't let that stand. The thought of him wandering free, a living testament to his defiance, ignites a furious fire within me. I must remind him, and myself, of who holds the strings. Tonight, I ventured into the heart of the city, the scent of apprehension thick in the air. Among the neon lights and bustling crowds, I spotted my next victim, a woman named Emily. Her eyes held a flicker of vulnerability, a spark I knew how to fan into a consuming blaze. She would be my masterpiece. Part 3. The Dance of Dread. Emily, like a moth to a flame, wandered into my world of shadows and madness. Her steps were tentative, her gaze flickering nervously. I could practically hear the rhythm of her heartbeat, the melody of her fear. It was a melody that harmonized perfectly with the cacophony in my mind. The reasons behind my affiliation with the Killer Clowns are a symphony of madness and desire. We embrace the chaos that others shy away from, finding solace in the twisted beauty of our shared purpose. The group became my haven, a place where my eccentricities were not only accepted, but celebrated. Capturing victims is an intricate ballet of manipulation and suspense. I observe from the fringes of their lives, studying their habits, their routines. Each individual is a unique puzzle, and I delight in unlocking their fears. I weave a tapestry of dread, luring them into a deadly waltz that they can't escape. I couldn't help but recall Jacob as I watched Emily. His escape haunted my thoughts, a stain on my legacy. I couldn't allow Emily to slip through my fingers like he had. She was a canvas waiting to be painted with terror, a canvas that would forever remember the touch of the Jester. Under the cover of night, I approached Emily, my painted smile disguising the madness within. She hesitated, her unease palpable, yet curiosity pulling her closer. The tension in the air was electric, a prelude to the chaos I was about to orchestrate. With a flourish, I revealed my true intentions, and the dance began. Part 4. Symphony of Suffering. The night wrapped around us like a cloak, darkness veiling the world from the prying eyes of the mundane. Emily stood before me, her vulnerability laid bare like an offering. Her trembling form was a testament to the power I held over her, a power forged from fear and uncertainty. The reasons for my allegiance to the Killer Clowns are a fusion of compulsion and camaraderie. We are misfits, united by our shared yearning for chaos, for the thrill of witnessing the disintegration of normalcy. In the midst of this darkness, I found a family that understood the melody of my madness. Capturing victims is an intricate choreography of deception and terror. I revel in the hunt, the art of exploiting weaknesses and weaving a web of dread. Emily was a masterpiece in the making, her emotions an instrument that I could play with skilled fingers. Every scream, every plea was another note in the symphony of suffering. Jacob's escape remains etched in my memory, a stain on my legacy that I am determined to erase. Emily, in all her vulnerability, is a canvas on which I will paint my most vivid nightmares. The Jester's touch will forever alter the fabric of her reality, imprinting her with the indelible mark of fear. The night grew darker, the air thick with the weight of impending doom. I reveled in the echoes of Emily's despair, each cry a testament to my mastery over her psyche. The crescendo of her fear was intoxicating, a euphoria that drowned out the voice of reason. In this twisted dance, I was the puppeteer, and she the marionette. Part 5. Chords of Confrontation. The moon hung low in the sky, casting an eerie glow over our deadly duet. Emily's struggles had become feeble, her spirit broken like a fragile note in the wind. As her fear melded with the shadows, I reveled in the twisted ecstasy of our shared performance. The reasons behind my allegiance to the Killer Clowns are a fusion of fascination and belonging. We are disciples of chaos, seekers of the sublime darkness that lies beneath the facade of normalcy. In their company, I found kindred souls who embrace the discord that courses through my veins. Capturing victims is a dance of manipulation and dominance, a symphony of despair that crescendos into terror. Emily's transformation from a hopeful soul to a shattered remnant of herself was a testament to my prowess. Each emotion, each gasp for breath, added depth to the composition of her suffering. Jacob's escape had taunted me for too long, a mockery of my power. But with Emily, I would reclaim my dominance over fear. Her vulnerability was my canvas, and I wielded the brush with the finesse of a deranged artist. The killer clown's legacy demanded that I reshape her reality into a nightmare from which she could never awaken. As the night wore on, Emily's struggle dwindled, her fight snuffed out like a dying ember. Her eyes, once ablaze with defiance, now held a vacant resignation. It was a sweet melody of defeat, a tune that harmonized perfectly with the symphony of despair I conducted. But just as the darkness seemed poised to claim its victory, a new sound pierced the air, the shrill wail of sirens, a cacophony that shattered the stillness of the night. The jarring notes of confrontation echoed in my ears, a dissonance that shattered the rhythm of our deadly dance. Part 6, Discordant End. The wail of sirens grew louder, a crescendo of impending doom that reverberated through the air. As the red and blue lights painted the surroundings in an eerie glow, Emily's vacant eyes met mine, a reflection of the shattered reality we had woven together. The reasons for my affiliation with the killer clowns are a tapestry of twisted desires and a sense of belonging to a fractured family. We are architects of chaos, crafting nightmares from the threads of our own madness. Yet in this moment, as the world around us teetered on the precipice of chaos, I realized the folly of my path. Capturing victims had been a sinister dance, a waltz of fear and manipulation. But now, in the face of impending retribution, I felt a discordant note in the melody of my madness. The allure of power and control seemed hollow against the backdrop of Emily's shattered spirit. The legacy of Jacob's escape and Emily's suffering weighed heavily on my conscience, a cacophony of regret that drowned out the symphony of chaos I had once reveled in. The killer clowns, once a family of kindred spirits, now felt like a fading nightmare, a bitter reminder of the darkness that had consumed me. As the police closed in, the last remnants of defiance crumbled within me. The siren's wail, once a rallying cry of authority challenged, had become a mournful dirge, a requiem for the twisted soul I had become. Emily's vacant gaze seemed to pierce through my painted facade, a silent plea for an end to the torment. And in that final moment, as the sirens reached a fevered pitch, a gunshot echoed through the air, a stark punctuation mark to our grim symphony. The darkness claimed me, a final note in the twisted melody of my existence. Or so they thought. And to conclude this tale, I have a poem for thee. In the night, a twisted sprite gestures here with eerie light. They chase their tails, those chasing me, but I'll forever roam, wild and free. A clown uncaught, a laugh untamed, in every shadow, I'm unnamed. They think they've won, but oh, they're wrong. I'm the punchline to their fierce song. So sleep with one eye open tight, for Jester's out, a merry fright. In moonlit glee, I'll still pursue. Remember, friend, I'm coming for you. Now like and subscribe.